Let's have a look at War of the Worlds from DVG Games. And I backed this on Kickstarter a while back, got it a while ago and completely forgot to film it. So, my bad. Let's have a look at the map and I'll show you some other bits and bobs and I'll just show you how it works while I play it. So, here is the map. This is obviously the version for England. There are other versions for various other places. Up at the top, across the very top, you probably won't see it all, but that is where the 5 waves of the Martians can come from. That's where the tripods start. Obviously this is England and just a little bit of Scotland at the top. Down the left there is, it's like a kind of points if you like. The Martians can win if they get to effectively 100. And we're the same, if we get to 100 we win. This little square here, a little section here, is kind of blown out to over here, and this is London. If London falls, the Martians win. Up here, there's 4 parts of a flying machine. If those 4 parts complete the flying machine, the Martians win. This is just a little sequence of play thing down the side, and there's a couple of bunches of cards. I'll show you those when we get to them. There's little markers here for each of the cities, and they have a number and some cogs on it. That number will go down when it's attacked by the Martians, and the cogs are giving us points that we're going to use to spend. These are handling units. They are going to make cylinders, and the cylinders contain the tripods. If the cylinder actually opens, out come the tripods and I get a good kicking. We can try and destroy the cylinders before they open, or we're going to have to just take on the tripods and pray very hard. It comes with dice. We have a couple of coloured dice. This is what we use for making decisions. It's a completely one-player game. And we've got markers here for production. The M and the Mars are for the Martians. The H and the kind of squiggly thing is for the humans, just to keep track of the points. So everything starts at 0 here. 0 points for the Martians, 0 points for us. 0 production points to start off. Put the dice aside. When a battle happens, it goes to a slightly different map, and I'll show you that. It's just 2 separate little maps, one for land and one for naval battles. What else have I forgot? There's ports. Ports can be opened. When the Martians attack, there'll be refugees. The refugees need to try and flee to the ports. It's the only way they can escape. So, I think I've covered the bare basics. I think I have. I will do the last bit of the kind of setup, which is there's cards that are event cards. If we get to that event, we open that card, look, see what it says. You know, so there's ones for escape, ones for Martians, devastation, that kind of thing. So to start off with, I'll cut them just so I don't know what the top card's going to be. Martian action event. So when we get to that event, I'll turn that card, see what it says. Right, let me finish off the last little bit of setup. Right, finished the setup and the whole thing has started up in Scotland. Wave 1, 4 tripods as shown up here. Those 4 tripods are rampage in Scotland. They've completely destroyed it. Cylinder 2 is in Wales, and currently there are 4 tripods getting assembled in there. If that opens, trouble. This is just another machine, possibly going to get another cylinder, but that'll come later. Right, production phase. And for here I have to count the cogs that you see on the markers. Not the numbers, just the cogs. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 20. So I have 20 production points. I'm going to spend that on buying things like infantry, cavalry, field guns and siege guns. So to start it off, I think infantry's 10, cavalry's 10, field guns 12 just to make it awkward, and siege guns 22 just to make it awkward. Let's see, I could try and buy some infantry and try and do these powder keg things, which are basically mines. The only thing is, when you try and make the powder kegs, the infantry can sometimes blow themselves sky high. So that's a bit bad. Obviously things like the field guns and the siege guns are the best. That's where you can actually attack the tripods. Infantry can't attack tripods. But I only have 20, so I'm wondering if I should just buy a field gun for 12 and save the rest. I could put the field gun, I could put it in Liverpool. You can only put it in a space that has this little factory icon. So I could put a gun there. In fact, no, screw it, what the hell. We're going to go for two of these infantry guys. So that's going to use my full 20. And that is going to be it for the production phase. Nothing's getting captured or anything. Battle phase, there's nothing. No battles happening. Devastation phase. That unfortunately does have to happen. And this is where the Martians are going to wreak havoc. Now, fortunately, this guy up in Scotland can't really do anything because he's already wrecked it. There's nothing really left to wreck. So we're going to roll it anyway. He's got 4 tripods and he is going to, green, he's going to do heat ray, which straight away would be -3 workforce, no can do, it's wrecked. And then everything else, no can do because it's wrecked. So he does nothing, which is good, don't get me wrong. Let's see, done that, we've done the devastation phase, there's nothing else for that. So it would be human action phase. This is where I come in and I can move my people, that kind of thing. I only have these 2 infantry guys, so I want them to see. I could try, it's a bit risky, but I could try and move them to Wales and try and attack this cylinder before it even opens. Or I could risk it and try and get them both to make powder kegs, which if the wave comes in, steps on them, kabang, in theory. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking the powder kegs, but if the powder kegs goes wrong, they blow themselves up. I think I'm going to move them. I'm going to use human action phase to move them both to Wales. That way, hopefully, we can attack this thing before it opens. Right. Human action phase is done. There's nothing else to do. Escape phase is going to be a similar idea. There's no refugees to flee, so far so good. Check for refugees in the zone. Nope, none. So now we tally up how many zones are still producing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. So I take my that 10 marker and put it on 1. So I have 10 points, I'm on the board, I'm off and running. Now, that is done. When I get to the 3rd, then another cylinder is going to appear on the map. Right, so I'm not in 3, so there is no cylinder. Martian action phase. Right, and there is a card for that, which is black smoke. Every wave inflicts 1 workforce loss on its zone. Well, that's good, because there's nothing there, he wrecked it, so that's not happening. So, Martian action phase is where they are going to do something or other depending on the zone they're in. So, wave 1 is the only one we have. He is in a destroyed zone. So he's either going to move, get reinforcements called arrival, or build a part of the flying machine, which is up here in 4 parts. He is going to move. So he is going to move from Scotland. He can either go to Newcastle, Liverpool, or Newcastle. So green, yellow, red. Right, let's see where he's going to move. Red. So he's going to go to Newcastle. Boom. All 4 tripods have now stormed Newcastle. Right. That is most of the Martian action phase. Cavalry. I'll come to that if I get cavalry, but they can, you can either use the cavalry to attract them or move and decide where the wave is going to go. But not at the moment. Right, if a zone is destroyed, which Scotland is, we roll a dice to see if we get red. If it's red, that goes to red weed. Does not, so it stays as destroyed. Destroyed means that the Martians get 2 points. So unfortunately, the Martians are on the board. If it goes to red weed, they get 4 points. So good, good. I'm glad it didn't go to red weed. And the last one is assembly phase, and there is an assembly event, which is overlords. When rolling for assembly, treat all handling machines as green. Ah, crap. Well, that's not so good. And because I've got these 2 guys right there waiting to attack it, so okay, let's see what it's going to do. Yes, fantastic. Red, so it does not open. If it had came up green, it would have opened because of that card. Normally, it would have been yellow. So, whew, dodged a bullet there. Right, that was that. Back to the production phase.